Friend in Your Pocket Conversations with Youth Hope Nation. And today, April 11th, 2019, how do you say the year of our Lord, 2000? How would you say it? Like when they like four scored and some years, I'm forget it. Anyway, well, it's a nerd joke?
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Anyway, today was the celebration of life for Nipsey Hussle, Ermias Eshkadon. And it was a wonderful, beautiful service. They actually stuck to the service, to the program, which was awesome. It was at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles, his hometown. And it was just beautiful. His family was the epitome of strength and just beautiful. Before we get into all of that, we're going to slide into the TAM tips. But let me go around. We have AR for Prez, Instagram, IG, AR for Prez. We got Tay Tay. Tay Tay. Friend in Your Pocket mini-me's on deck. Then we got her mama. Resumes by Tam. Beautiful inside and out. All that. Then we got Mama Pocket. Yeah. Friend in Your Pocket's Mama, Chef Mama Pocket, IG. These are all our IGs. I'm Friend in Your Pocket, IG, everything, Google, everywhere. Around the way with Nay. She don't use her Instagram. No. But it's so Samaya, and there's nothing on there. It's so nothing on there. And then we have, I don't know, he changed his name, so Rich Favre, Longevity. What's your name now?
I don't even know. AKA Flacco G.
Yeah, whatever that is. We'll talk about that later. But that's Skinny Man, my oldest son, and my baby son is next to him. Moose Centurion's Motors Guru.
Yeah.
I got it right.
Yeah.
Living Good Moose, _ Living Good Moose. We got other people that can't be shown on camera. No face, no case. They won't get beaten. So, yay! So, like I said, we're going to start off with the TAM tip of the day, and then we're going to slide into Nipsey Hussle. Yay! Come on. Yay! Clap for you. So, Tam, what's the tip?
So kind of stay in the spirit of Nipsey. Do your best with whatever it is that you're doing, and have integrity with it. So if you are a janitor and you sweep floors, may everybody say, don't nobody sweep floors like such and such.
Hallelujah.
If you are a doctor, know your science, do it to the best of your ability. Don't half-ass, no half-ass.
Don't misdiagnose nobody. Don't do that.
But that's really it. I don't have much tonight. I just want everybody to really do your best. Don't half-step, because you shortchange yourself.
That's right. In the words of the late, great Martin Luther King, he talked about being a janitor. And you can be a janitor, but just don't be mediocre. Be the best at everything you do. And that's right, Tam. Thank you for the tip. So, diving on into the funeral, homegoing, celebration of life, all of that was Nipsey Hussle, was a wonderful, wonderful day. It wasn't filled with a bunch of gospel music, a bunch of sad stuff. I think the best performer, in my opinion, was Janae Cole. I really loved her song. She always just, it's amazing why she's not larger than what she's supposed to be, but that's why, because she has true talent. She was throwing up neighborhood and all that. You know,
She did it?
She threw it up. You know, she always sticks close to her roots. You know, and I want to salute her. I'm still in love with her song, Sing to Me, the song she has with her daughter. Oh, that's such a beautiful song. So, shout to Janae Cole. No shade to nobody else who performed, but in my opinion, she did the absolute best. And one of my takeaways from, and we'll go around the room, but one of my takeaways from the funeral, the homegoing, was his dad. Now, people will jump and say his mother. I'm going to tell you why I'm saying his father right now. Snoop Dogg gave the best.
Yeah.
He was the best eulogizer. He did the eulogy. I mean, his moms and everybody who knows him personally, but if you want to sum up somebody's life, Snoop Dogg did just that. So his dad, what stuck out to me about his father was, when the mom was speaking, there was a little discrepancy because I know people say, oh, he was beating his mother, like, because I kind of, and I was like, no, because she had a husband after. Right. So I'm assuming the husband she had after was beating her, not their dad. Because what I see from the father, even though said he was devastated because he was a weekend father after they got divorced, the impact that he had on his children and how he interacted with his children, taking them to the motherland, taking them, just all the things that they had done and just the pictures that they showed us, that's just the stuff that they showed us. We don't even know what went on at home. What he did for them as a weekend father, some people can't do as a stay-home dad. And so I'm saying this to all my kings and my brothers out there. Just because your kid don't live with you, don't mean you can't spend time with your child. Now, if you got barriers, that's right. Because you got a petty baby mother who's young-minded and immature and keeps you away from your kids, you can't stop that. I mean, you go down to the courts and you can fight for your rights. That's what you should do. But if you have all access to your child, there's no reason why you're not having an impact. I don't care if you got 10 baby mothers, then you get all your kids together when you need to get them together and you be a father to your child. Because the reason why Nipsey Hussle had balance is because he had two parents. Okay? And he had two strong parents. And then he had a strong, ancestral path. He had grandparents that were all in the realm in the mix. And I'm sure he had aunties and uncles and stuff like that. Family is uber and super important in any child's life. And we have to stop thinking that family isn't important. Stop saying, oh, I don't mess with my family. Make it work. Because at the end of the day, when you're dead and gone, this is what's left. You can have friends and all of that, but family is family, and that never changes. So try to, keep your family together. So that's what's for my dads, and I was glad that Snoop Dogg spoke to his father. Because, a lot of times in funerals and stuff like that, people focus on mom a lot and don't really give dads the credit that they deserve, because a lot of times dads don't know their place. And I've realized that just dealing with the men in my family, men don't kind of know their place when it comes to their kids, because the mom is everything. She's the superhero. She's the, the coach. She's this, she's that. And the dad somehow get lost in the mist. And that's why a lot of men just walk off, because they don't even know their role to begin with. But if they know their role and they're strong in their role, your children come out a lot stronger. Okay? So even though Nipsey got involved with gangs and all that, like Farrakhan said, he rose above that. And he was able to rise above that because he had a strong foundation. And, and I'm sure a lot of his friends didn't have what he had. He might not have much financially, but he had a lot spiritually. A lot was poured into him. So shout out to Nipsey Hussle's family. And another thing, you mothers, I see a lot of mothers are not implanting spirituality into their kids. You have to, this is where this guy got a lot of his positivity from. Hearing his mother speak, hearing his grandmother speak, hearing his father speak. This guy has spirituality poured into him. How dare you raise a kid with nothing? No God, no this, no that. Oh, I don't go to church. Okay, you don't go to church. Don't give them a book. You sit them in front of the television. You sit them outside on the street corners with you while you and your friends are getting high and stuff like that. How dare you do this to these children? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you want a Nipsey Hussle, and you want a Barack Obama or Denzel Washington and stuff. How dare you demand so much and you give so less? So, shout out to all the mothers doing their job. Shout out to all the parents doing their job. And shout out to the grannies. Shout out to grannies. We love grannies. They are amazing people. I was saying the other day, I don't really have a lot of experience with great-grandpas because, my grandfather, was a street dude, so he did what he could. He gave money. But I didn't come from the lovey-dovey grandpa, and my kids don't either because my father is still in the streets. But, they do what they can. They pass wisdom and stuff like that. So, but family is important on all levels. So, one day you'll be a grandparent. Be a great-grandparent, okay? Don't just be mediocre. So that was my takeaway from the film. What about you around the way with me? She didn't know.
I thought it was really nice. I like how
Speak up, because you don't have a mic.
I like how intellectual he was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't have to, do research, read, and stay knowledgeable on things, but he did that. And it's like kind of cool. And Lauren did the same thing. She said he influenced her to kind of
step a game up.
right. So you kind of, I don't know, it's just sad.
Shout out to Queen of Fua. Lauren was with Queen of Fua March 28th. 2 days, two, 3 days before Nipsey died. I actually got a chance to do a call with Queen of Fua just 2 days ago. So shout out to her because Sacred Woman was the book that Lauren mentions in that GQ, in like the little how well did he know her skit that they did, and Queen of Fua helps a lot of women. Her book is called Sacred Womb, okay? Because we are women. All right, so check her book out. A lot of healing and stuff, and she has a lot of seminars. She's gonna be in California in August doing one. It's $4,000 if you can afford it. Wow. It'll be the best education you can get. And she just had a class that closed, and she teaches at the Black National Theater in Harlem. That class closed, but she does those often. So if you want to be a practitioner or whatever in healing sciences, she does that. She teaches, and this is what Lauren was learning from her, and Nipsey was opening up a lot of portals in a lot of people's minds about spirituality, about eating, and all of that. So shout out to Queen of Food. I just digress, but that was one of the people that I'm sure he turns her on to. And
then it's his brother too.
Yeah, Black Sam. Shout out to him. They were like twins, 3 years apart.
What he was talking about. I missed it. So.
He missed it. I mean, he just told stories about them and just how smart he was. The story about the computer was like the best. That he wanted a computer. They had a computer he broke, and every day Nipsey would bring home computer parts, and he kept telling his brother he was gonna build a computer, and his brother just thought it was junk and they needed to clean the room. But ultimately, Nipsey Hussle built a computer, a working computer that he later recorded songs off of, and his whole family and his friends were so impressed they would come by and see this computer that he built with his hands. Through books that his grandfather had at the house. He read and learned how to build his own computer. That's dope. I hope they have the computer and it goes in the Smithsonian Institute. He said 12, yeah. So that was like that was my best story. I mean, just the way he loved them. They have the same voice. They have the same book. Yeah, mannerisms. Everything. You can tell Nipsey took a lot from his brother. But it's funny because his brother took a lot from him. His brother kind of feels like the little brother. He just felt like he was just there watching this genius force do what he do. So yeah, that was good. Yeah. So you missed it. So
yeah, I was at Thursday.
We good?
I'm gonna watch you.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah, we good. We still rolling.
13,
Hallelujah.
13 minutes.
Woo! Because we had it bad last show. Yeah, really bad. Mom?
Oh, I took so much away from that. The mom, her spirituality, I gotta get there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. What happened? You never cry. This is the 10 woman. That's for my old heads. That's the way.
Just getting in tune with the spirituality. I know about Christianity and all of that, but it's another level, and I know it's another level. That's why I left the church, because it's more to it than just the Bible. Just being in tune as she was. Just great. Just a great kid that they raised.
Yeah.
A gangbanger turned businessman with spirituality. That's heavy. So his family, they did a great job with him, and I guess his job was done at 33 because he did so many things. Such a bright kid, such a smart kid, and didn't go to school. I think he graduated
Junior high school.
Junior high
He
school.
dropped out in 9th grade, right? 9th grade dropout.
And he was a genius when he was tested. So, you could build on your own. We just got to get in tune to know what we're about and know what we have inside of us so we can build on that. And that's the sad thing that a lot of black families miss because we're so consumed with doing so much other foolishness that we all need to get back to that motherland experience.
Yeah.
We're missing that.
Yeah.
And it hinders our kids, our generations, where we can kill each other. If we had more of that, I think we'd be in a better place.
All right, Mama Pop. I wasn't expecting that. He touched her. And we were at his store and she revealed that she didn't know what we were doing there. Like, she didn't know why we were there. Like, who was Nipsey Hussle until this happened. And she was so profoundly sad because she said she would have brought more stuff. Or, you know, she was just going through some stuff when we was down in California. But, you know, come on, this is like, maybe like 4th generation, like for him, you know what I'm saying? So he's impacting like 4 generations all at once. That's amazing. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
Tam. This is our West Coast representative right here. Let me throw my W's up. Yeah, West Coast. Yeah. Tam.
Big quick.
She whoa, wait. I'm just saying she's from California. Literally. In their words, literally. Literally. They love literally. That's one of they go-tos, boy.
So I was raised not too far from the Marathon store, 159th and Hoover.
Oh.
During the service, you heard a lot of references to 60th and all that. I was 1 block away. And it was very rough around there. But the gang culture that he came from, just to kind of give a little bit of clarification, was not what gang culture is now. So he is the branch off of when it started from the Black Panther Party. It was all about protection. It was all about the community. It was all about, so even though he was gang banging and it was on that curve of doing all the dumb stuff, those dudes are just cut from a different cloth and they really don't make them like that no more. So gang members now are completely different and very ill-informed and don't know their history to do half of the things that they do, because if they did, they'd have a lot more respect for their sets and their neighborhoods. But anyway, moving off of that, so my favorite part was definitely his brother. You could see so much admiration. There were so many things. Listening to the stories that he was telling, I felt very proud, because when you think about those other people, when their brothers are great, they try to kill them. They do not encourage, they do not support, they do not do half of what he did, and then it came full circle because everything he put into his brother in turn put it back into him and their entire family. So that was a very proud moment, just as a person and a Black person. And I think that needs to really be reintroduced into the homes, because we are lost, and it makes no sense for us to be as lost as we are. And then aside from that, I thought it was so precious when their son kept taking the mic.
Yeah.
That was so amazing to me, because he didn't know what was going on, but he knew he wanted the mic, and I thought that was so cute. And I like that Lauren's son with Wayne.
Cameron.
Yes.
Cameron. I'm sure.
What did he call him? He said his name. Killer. Yeah. Just him sharing the story, you can tell that he loved him.
Yeah.
There's just everything about him was just love, despite anything that he did. So, coming from a family of gang members, he was the type of gang member that you ride for to the death. You wouldn't mind being in the trenches, because you know that's a solid one.
That's some West Coast stuff right there.
It really is. It is solid. solid. Everybody ain't solid, and that's why he always talk about not folding. Because if you're not solid, you gonna fold.
She's talking that talk.
Anyway, overall, it was really great, and I was very impressed with them sticking with the program.
Yes.
I was very, very impressed with that. I was.
We would have still been there if it was Aretha Franklin's funeral. The whole funeral was 8 hours. I mean, Nipsey's was on time. The procession took long because LA it takes 2 hours to get 6 miles. That's just LA. Sorry. So that's why it took so long. But the funeral was on time. Everybody was eloquently spoken. Yeah, I love that. You know, they had the F-bombs and, you know, whatever things was being said. But that's what it is. You know, at first I was like laughing. I said, they act like we in a funeral home. I was surprised somebody to come up there with a bottle of Hennessy and start, you know, saying what they were saying. But that probably happened last night at his private memorial. I'm sure of it. But yeah, it was an awesome thing. I hope people watch it with their children because this is another problem that we have. We're so disconnected from our children. We don't know what our children are going through, the traumas they're experiencing. And, you know, it's important if you have kids like early 20s and teenagers, if they're experiencing the loss of an artist, like when people went through the loss of Elvis or, what's his name from the Beatles? His name just ran straight out my mind. Straight. What's his name? John Lennon.
Nobody's gonna help you either.
Nobody. That's gonna be drowning. They just like I was like, who? I was gonna say cut. No, John Lennon and Tupac. You know, I was working my way. I was going through the Caucasians, so I got Caucasian viewers. I want them to feel me on this. And Tupac and Biggie were and Marvin Gaye. Like we were just talking about that. Oddly enough, he died the day after Nipsey Hussle, I believe. You know, in 1984 or 5. So Marvin Gaye was like my first artist loss, and he got killed by his dad. That was some real stuff right there. And I remember that as a child, like being sad, not just like knowing. I knew who he was, and I knew his music, and I was sad because he died, not just because my parents were, because I was sad. And Dinah Ross had Missing You and everything, and I just posted that on my IG not too long ago. So anyway, when your kids are experiencing these losses, it's important that you know what the hell they're going through. Just like my mom didn't know while we were at his store, like who he was. It's important that you share in those moments because you can talk to your kids better, you can relate to your kids better. A lot of reasons why our kids hide stuff from us or do stuff behind our backs because they feel like we can't relate to them. I'm not saying be their friend and grimy and do things with your kids that are inappropriate, but you need to know what your kids are going through. So, but I knew Nipsey Hussle before my kids, so they had to catch up with me. I remember in 2010, Wrath of King. You didn't even see the Wrath of King. You didn't even see it. No, you didn't. You did not. We were just trying to watch it.
I seen that movie.
You told me you hadn't seen it.
No, I never told you that.
It?
No, I
Yeah,
never
that's
told you that.
Okay.
Told you
When was
that.
we were looking for it?
In range. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
you
They
told me
changed the
you
name of it. It used to be called
Cage Animal.
Yeah, I knew Nipsey Hussle was.
Whatever, I knew first. They ain't know.
That's crazy.
They ain't know. Anyway, he said that's crazy. What? Let me see my notes. Did I get through everything? Oh, another thing I want to talk about. People hate. How could you hate somebody who died? How could you be mad about the way somebody died and the way that people love that person and respect that person? Telling people what colors they can't use or how many posts they can do. You can't tell me what to do on my Instagram, on my stuff, because when the Beehive is out, y'all posting Beyonce flying around stage and stuff like that. Y'all all team Beyonce.
Being her wifey.
Right, yeah. She's your wifey and all of that kind of stuff. All that nonsense and foolishness or whatever. Nobody says that. I just keep scrolling like, okay, they're on crazy Beehive people again. I scroll by. I don't comment under your stuff. I don't make posts about y'all looking crazy, following her around the country and stuff like that. I don't say anything about that. But I'm saying it now. You know, if you love Beyonce, you love Beyonce. But I don't beat people up about loving Beyonce. Somebody died here. We're not talking about somebody who's still roaming the earth. Somebody died. Somebody lost a husband, a brother, a son, a father. Yeah, I was looking for that other word. Father. That's another no face, no case person over there. So I'm glad she's there. But yeah, so let people mourn and grieve the way they want to grieve, because people are grieving for Nipsey, but other stuff is going on in people's lives, and this right here was just like that. Man, I'm going through this. I'm grateful because I'm living and I'm going through despair, whatever, but I'm living. So me posting Nipsey is me being grateful that I'm still alive to be able to post Nipsey. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I could easily not be here. I could easily be sitting on the front pew like his family is doing right now, and I'm grateful that I'm not experiencing that right now. So that's why I'm posting him, and I love his music. I love his style. I love his mind. I love his whole entire being. Okay, so that's why, and I think we should leave people alone. And another thing, y'all gotta stop in these comments. Like, y'all be on shade room underneath people comments saying crazy stuff. Do y'all see what y'all be saying to people underneath their posts? Like, do you really, like, before you get saying, you don't see how dumb you look, saying stuff, like, just stuff. You know, just stuff. Like, people just say stuff. It just gets on my nerves. Anyway.
We were raised, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't
say it. Why are you saying it?
You don't need to say nothing.
You look dumb. You don't look smart because you're putting somebody down on social media. You don't look cool. You look stupid and ignorant, and you need to stop.
Like that uncultured boy.
Which one?
From the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, podcast, people, like, you know, trying to say, you know, he deserves stuff because he was a gangbanger, or, you know, he's old news. Please. Yeah. Y'all been talking about the Kardashians for like 15 years. They old news.
Old news.
And he deserved whatever he did, whatever happened, deserved to happen because
Who said that?
Well,
no,
we're not getting into that.
We're not giving him any credit on this show.
Yeah. But there's been a lot of people saying crazy stuff. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because we've been reading some crazy stuff and seeing crazy stuff. So,
I was about to say
sidebar.
Crazy,
Let me see. Friends, family, weekends. I said that. I just want to make sure I get everything. This is the late version because we were watching Nipsey Hussle's funeral for 8 hours. And
8 hours?
Yeah, the procession. 8 hours. Oh, and so anybody have anything they want to say? Moose, did you say you didn't say anything? You walked up. What did you say? What did you funeral? Celebration of life.
It was obvious that he was definitely a light in anybody's life that he came in contact with. Because you could just see from Instagram that everybody, whoever said something about him, they said the same thing. It was consistent, yeah. So it's just, it was just, he definitely, you know, made his mark. He was special. It was just, it's unfortunate, but like I said in my post for him on Instagram, he definitely sparked a revolution for this generation, for my generation, you know, because he was able to touch us, you know, like I said, he touched 4 generations. Yeah. My, you know, because there's a generation coming up under me, my generation, Shards, you.
So 5.
Really 5, yeah, and then grandma. You know, so, you know, he definitely made a mark.
He went through the math real quick.
He
went through the number.
Yeah,
he made it complicated.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, definitely support.
And that's the die-hard Nipsey fan right
there. Yeah. I'm ordering some stuff tonight, too.
Oh, Sean, come on, real quick. Yeah. This is all the die-hard Nipsey. You got it. What did you take away? Child. She don't like that Nipsey's getting all the attention either, but she's a baby. We'll tease her. Talk to your folk.
His brother, really, like the things he said kind of resonated with me the most. Only because, you know, I've developed that kind of dynamic with my older brother now. Mm-hmm. Like, where we got to a place now where we're able to have adult conversations, and I'm able to get, and he actually, you know, looks for me to give some insight on things that he may be thinking. So I feel honored about that, being able to do that. So just seeing the roles, reverse from how his brother was saying how he wanted to do everything to help him out and to kind of push him forward, and then it turns around where he ends up being the big little brother.
Yeah.
Kind of like stepping out himself and kind of looking at him like, wow, like this little dude is special.
Yeah.
So that kind of made me sad to see him like lose something like that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I was just telling Ma, I know how I've been feeling over the past week. So imagine how, people who had direct contact with him, like the girl, his best friend, she talked about, and I know we talked about it on the podcast last week, how Swiss B said that he gave him a book.
Yeah.
And she said the same thing. Like, he was always recommending books and stuff like that. And YG too. So, it just goes to show us that, like, no matter what arena he was in with people, he always wanted to give information.
Yeah.
And I see that now with my older siblings. I see how important it is now, like, that you leave yourself open to receive the information. You just don't never know what you may take from it or how it may help in your journey.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he was moving to somebody so old but only 33, younger than me.
Yeah.
It this week, I think, not only for myself but for a lot of other people, was like kind of like a self-reflection moment.
Yeah.
I know definitely for me.
A chin check.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Exactly. And if you're a person that's lazy, maybe it's time for you to stop being lazy.
Right.
If you're a person that's a procrastinator and not moving on ideas and things that's within your control, maybe you should start moving on those ideas. Mm-hmm. So I think with his passing, and like I told other people, Tupac's passing was big, Biggie's passing was big, and I remember both of those passings, but not as profound as this.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's age.
No.
I'm saying for me, like, because I remember when Tupac passed, I was young.
No, I'm just telling you, being there for all of those, I'm gonna say, like I said from the beginning, this one is different.
Yeah, so
y'all can have that. Y'all generation can have that. Y'all took the biggest loss.
So,
I believe.
Yeah, so I think the funeral overall was nice. I like how authentic it was.
Yeah.
Everybody was able to speak in their truth and not kind of like feel like they need to cut certain things out or cater the way that they talk. So I appreciate that part of the funeral. Like Mom said, his moms, speaking from that positive perspective, and being at peace with it. Definitely I like the fact how in tune they are spiritually. Just good energy, and you get a chance to see what he grew up in, and everything makes sense. Mm-hmm. Everything makes sense why he touched everybody that he came in contact with the same way. Like, everybody who walked away from him, had the same story about him always wanting to help. And since I've just been following people on social media, people are showing like their text threads with him.
Yeah.
And he just talked the same way. What can I do to help? Whatever you need, let me know. So for a person to be so young and also so powerful at the same time is dope. So I was telling my guy at work, I'm gonna miss my dude. Hopefully he has a catalog like Tupac.
He has a lot.
He has a lot of work done. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing new music from him, and definitely gonna miss. Yeah.
Consistency is the mark of truth. I would say it over and over again. And no old white man said that. I made that a few years ago. I did. So if you steal it, give me credit. Consistency is the mark of truth. And I think if I get a t-shirt made, I'm going to put that underneath with his picture. I like that. That's for him. I dedicate that to you, Hermes. I like that. Yeah. I'm smart too,
Give you your flowers while you're alive.
Yeah, I think it's so dope that he was able to get everybody on board. See, that's the problem. is getting everybody on board, because you can have a movement, but if everybody ain't on board, it's like having a car that don't have all its parts. It ain't gonna move. You know, it'll go a little bit, but it ain't gonna go far. So everybody gotta be on board. All money in, no money out. Everybody gotta be all in. You want to say something? I didn't forget. I didn't forget you.
And one thing before she starts, these books, we got to get on board. We got a genius right here in our midst, and we're not celebrating her. We're not supporting her as we should, and we need to get all money in, and push this train somewhere else.
Thank you, Mama. Stop it. She's right though. You know? No. 2010. It all started. It was all a dream. But it starts off like that. I had a big rush and I have some downtime. Been in some downtime right now. But the words still get out. People are still reading. And that's the one thing I love about art and books. It never ends. It never has an expiration date. We are in school reading books that was written 100 years ago. They're on your curriculum right now. 100-year-old books. Okay, there's more books. And there's books that are written by people that look like us, that talk like us, that have different experiences. That's what culture is. Culture is not learning about something or a bunch of things old and regurgitating them. Culture is actually living in the moment, sharing things, and through blogs and people writing articles and editorials. That's what culture is. We get it confused. Oh, if we know what happened in Hamlet or Macbeth, that makes us geniuses and rocket scientists. That's not it. You know what I'm saying? I was there. I did all of that. I was in all these plays, and I know all about Shakespeare and how he didn't really write his stuff, but a black woman wrote his stuff. I know all about that. Do you? You know what I'm saying? So stop being, and that's the thing what Nipsey did. With a lot of intuitives do. We know it's something beyond what they're giving to us. What they're giving to us is usually a lie to cover up the truth. It's like, what is it? Paper covers the rock. We are the rock, and we're getting covered by paper all the time, and we're always going to lose because we're blind. You have to go beyond that. They tell you to read this, read 10 other books, not like that book. I guarantee you'll be 1,000% smarter than somebody who's graduating from Princeton and Harvard, Yale, Oxford, and all of that. You'll be smarter.
Computer.
With his mind in a magazine at 12. But we're still celebrating Bill Gates and Steve Jobs like they don't got black people. When you go to Silicon Valley, you see a bunch of brown people. They're Indian. Those are black people. Africans, they're black people. Stop thinking that something is beyond us. We think that only Asians are smart in mathematics. Black people invented algebra. How could they be smarter than the creator? Come on, stop that. Asia's in Africa. Let's go there. But I digress. Go ahead, Sid. I'm going to say, go ahead, Tay, mama. She's so upset.
Well, I was going to just tease Moose about saying definitely instead of definitely because Snoop Dogg kept talking about magnate.
Yeah,
and I was like, what?
When he said magnet, I was like, oh, he's trying to say magnetized? What you trying to say?
I don't know, but it was
magnetic.
Yeah.
Magnetic.
He kept saying magnate, we magnate. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
we magnate.
And then Moose was like, definitely. And then Amar said definitely. I'm like, definitely.
That's New York.
Right. But I do want to add, with his mom, I thought it was really, really, really cool that she about you. Because since the passing, Kwana has been referring to Nipsey as an ancestor. His mother named several of their direct ancestors and then gave them a beverage and asked them to watch over him in the realm that he is now in. I just thought that was so amazing because we don't speak to our ancestors at all. We just don't. And I thought that was a very cool moment, and it definitely made me think of Kwana because she's been calling him the ancestor since he passed.
He is our ancestor now. He's in the ancestral plane. Not Wakanda. The ancestral plane. That's the real thing. And this is Ashe. Wakanda forever is Ashe. Okay? It's like peace. It's a greeting. Yoruba. Learn that. That's our culture. You know what I'm saying? So I just want y'all to just be a bridge. Be a connector. In closing, I'll wrap this up because it's late. I just wanted to have the spirit of Nipsey Hussle all around us when we did this. When we did part 1, I just uploaded that, and I wanted people. I wanted to feel. I didn't want to do it tomorrow. I wanted to do it in the moment, and I just want to thank his family for sharing him with the world, because so many people will do everything in secrecy and, a closed ceremony. We not, they don't invite cameras in or whatever. We still good? We rolling?
Yeah, you got a few, 6 minutes left.
Oh, we almost done. So I want to thank the Ashgadon family, the Smith family, for allowing us to, and the Boutte family, for allowing us to be a part of this whole Nipsey Hussle final victory lap. And it's just the final victory lap in the physical. His spiritual, he's always going to have a victory lap. He's always going to be here. His art is always going to be here. His children are here. His lights all over the world are here. He was a bridge. He was a connector. He was a light force. His mother said it best. He was a magnetic force. Energy never dies. Okay? People die. Spirit don't die. It stays right here. It transforms into something else. It goes into other people. So while you're living your life, make sure you live your life. Make sure you do things for people. Make sure that the life you lead speaks for you, as Nipsey Hussle spoke for him. So in closing, I just want to encourage you all. It's not late. Don't look at his life and think, oh man, he did all this and I can't do nothing. You can start right where you are, because that's what he did, and he never left. So start right where you are. Be a bridge. Be a connector. Don't be mediocre. All right? Walk in your kingdom, your queendom, because that's who you are. And I love you all. I love you all, Hope Nation. Wow.